Tonight, we're learning the historic buildings that house the Walmart Museum on the Bentonville Square were demolished to meet safety and structural requirements. That according to a Walmart spokesperson.
And as we reported on Monday, community members reached out for details, concerned that the buildings were knocked down as part of the renovation. 5
News reporter Morgan Wrigley looked into it this week. She spoke with Walmart and a local historian about the balance between making improvements and preserving history.
We know that that building is a hallmark of the Bentonville Square.
Last year, Walmart announced extensive renovations to its museum, made up by the historic Terry Block building and the Walton's Five and Dime. Local historian Randy McCrory has studied the history of these buildings.
This photo, the gentleman who's sitting down in this photo, that's W.A. Terry. The building that was just torn down here was not the original Terry Block building. There actually was a wood structure that sat there until 1888. And when it was torn down, it was also the Terry Block building, but it was torn down and a brick building replaced it. The building beside it was Burns Mercantile Store. Both the stores were built in 1870s or 1880s and have sat there for over 135 years.
McCrory leads several groups discussing local history. He says he and others in the community were caught off guard when they realized the buildings had been demolished as part of the renovation.
It's kind of surprising the other day when we found out that that both of these two buildings had been torn down, and pretty much under the cover of a blanket where not very many people in the community had realized that the buildings had come down.
Walmart spokesperson Scott Pope tells us the decision to rebuild came after extensive evaluation and was the only option in order to comply with current safety standards.
So we want to make sure that as we're doing this project, we're doing it the right way.
The plan all along, he says, has been to preserve as much as possible while complying with modern regulations.
We're building a building that's going to be both consistent with the look and feel that the community comes to expect, but also safe.
As a historian, McCrory says he understands these decisions aren't made lightly.
The owners of the building have the right to do whatever they want with the building. This particular building, is on the registry of historic places, but even that does not keep a building from being torn down. It's really up to the owner.
But going forward, he wants to encourage the community to invest in our historic buildings so we can keep them.
The building's already gone. There's nothing I can do to change that. My concern at this point in time and moving forward is the preservation of all other historic buildings in the downtown Bentonville area, Rogers and surrounding cities, and also the historic houses.
Preservation is something they both say they support.
We agree with citizens and the residents here in Benton County. We want to make sure that we're preserving this space, but the other spaces that we're a part of in a way that is a good steward of the resources that we're responsible for, and a good partner for the community that we're a part of.
In Bentonville, covering news where you live, Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.